Hello crafty friends, welcome back to a very unexpected second part of the video I showed you before. So I just wanted to clean my doilies from this stamping tutorial video, and then I found out a way to get really cool effects and with the same materials, the same supplies, a very different result, and I just decided to show you that. And as you can see, I have tried out different things here. That's until now it's wet, it's not dry. So because I turned on my camera again just in the moment when I did it, and I will dry this, and in the end of this video you will see the end result. When you missed the first part of this video where I did the original planned stamping like this, then please go back to my channel and watch the first part. I will also link it down below in the description box, so that I don't have to explain what I did before and what supplies you need and such things. So just let's move a little bit here in my kitchen. Hopefully that works. I'm just taking my tripod and going here to my water thing. Just let me check if you can see anything. Sorry. Okay, so I came up with this idea when I put my painted doilies here into my water thing to clean them a little bit and get something of the paint off. And then I thought, okay, here's paint, and why shouldn't I try to get another kind of stamp with this? So for that, I have the doily, like it comes up with this thing that we did in the tutorial before. And then I only opened my water here and let it flow here to this doily and to the paint, and let it soak a little bit. Then I take my paper, and in this case I'm not going around with my fingers, because I just found out that that is not a good idea. I try to get the paper stick a little bit to this painted doily, and when I see that the paint comes through the paper, so it's not really the paint but the water in the paint, you can see it when you press, that this comes to your surface here, to the other side of the paper. And when I have that, when I lift it up, I turn it very quick, that the water doesn't flow from my paper, so that the result is a little bit clear and a little bit loose. Don't know how to explain that. And now you have this result. So let me just focus that you can see it. Of course, it's already very wet, and I have to let it dry like this. And I don't want to use a heat gun or something like that, because I have the fear that this wet paint here flows around everywhere, and then you can't see anything in the end. So I will put that on the top of my oven. So we have a wood oven in this house here, and on the top you can dry everything. I think you can also put it into your normal oven where you make your food or something like that. And then you can dry it as it is. I'm a little bit nervous at the moment, because I am really excited how that will look when I scan it and use it for my digitals, because that was the original plan why I did this. And then I thought, okay, share it with the world, because other people might like it to have it in the original form on her paper and on her in their junk journals. And as you can see, when you do it twice, the color is enough to give you another really different result. So let me take the first one. As you can see, that is very different. It has the same style, but it is a different stamp. And that can be, I think, very interesting for a journal where you need some similar things to get this whole stuff together, the colors and the theme and such things. And I think those little things like those stamps or something like that can do that for us. So when you, for example, take this and put it into your junk journal, when it's dry, of course, then you can write something over it, or you can collage here, but the background, sorry, the background will be, the whole journal. And every page will look such different, but you can see that someone thought about that and made this with intention. So, and I love that. Okay, so let's try the other one. I have another one here that I already used. I think this is the right side, yes. You have, of course, to put the right side to the top where your original paint was. And then I do it like this. You can also do it a little bit like this with your fingers. And for the first stamp, I leave the water here like it is. As you perhaps can see, just a moment, when you put your water on, then in these little spaces here from the doily, there is much water. Don't know if you can see it. It's like little C's there in between of those little holes. Perhaps there where you can see this light very much, there is very much water. And for the first print of this, I leave the water there because then I have more possibilities. I can take my paper here, then press it down. And the more you press, the more of this thicker paint you will get. So, of course, the acrylic paint reacts with water and gets a little bit more fluid, more liquid. But you also have those little dots and bits there from the original paint that's not mixed with water. So, of course, when you rub it, and then it will become all the same. But I don't know if you can see that. What I mean is those little very dark things here. That's the original paint, and this gray is the with water mixed paint. And yeah, now this is of course a very wet and very gray thing. Let's see how that looks when it's completely dry. Now I have to run to my office and get some more papers. I'm back in a second. Okay, I'm back. I just asked myself why this thing is laying here. So of course you don't know this. You don't need this for your tutorial. Sorry. I haven't recognized it when I moved my frame here to this water thing. For the second try of this, so when I don't want it such gray, I lift this up and let the water go here out of my way. Of course, you can turn on the water and also remove the paint that is here. You can't see that because my thing here is black and the color also is black, but you would see it when you have a white Waschbecken. Wie heißt denn das? Angelika? Ich erwarte von dir jetzt gleich eine WhatsApp-Nachricht, wie das heißt. Yeah, and then when you did this and your hand is wet, please take something to make it dry, because you don't want to destroy your paper when you put it on top now here and you press it with your hand and your hand is wet. Then it can happen that your paper gets too wet and then it can be destroyed when you move your hand around. So of course when you take watercolor paper or something like that, that will be sturdy enough, but I think with this normal copy paper it's better to have dry hands. And I try to explain the most details that are possible to explain, because I want you to try this out by yourself. And as you can see, now it's in frame. As you can see, that's very, very different and more clear. and it has also those shadow things. So I think that looks really cool when it's darker, and then here it comes a little bit lighter, and I love that. That is really, really cool. Yeah, okay, so that's it, I think. Perhaps now I will turn off the camera and I find a way to do it on another way, and there will be a third part of this video, but I don't think so. But okay, just let me show you one little thing. So for all the people who like to use it in a digital way, for example, when you do it like this, and you put your paper here and just grab it with your fingers here and just, or here, and just make it like this, and only go over it here in the middle of the paper. Then, of course, you will get the main stamping or the main printing on the middle of the page, and here you have some splashes and something that you can use. I think that can be a very cool design for a belly band, for example, also. So that you can cut it here in some way and then put it to a belly band and put something under it. That I think can be a very cool effect too, especially when you print this on coffee dyed paper. So I'm very happy with my results. I will stop the film here now. I will stop recording, and then when this is dry and I have ironed it, I will show you the end results. So until then, have a great time. I will be back in a second. So here I'm back with the final results. As you can see, everything is dry now and I've ironed it. So as I said before, I left it until it was dry by itself, so that this fluid color can't go to a place where I don't want it. And then I ironed it, and yeah, I have a little tip for you. When you would like to do this at home, please make sure that you take the dry paper, put it in this direction, and then iron it from here, so from the back side of the paper. Because when you use acrylic paint like I used here, then it may happen that some of the paint comes to your iron machine, and yeah, you don't want that. So perhaps you don't use an old iron like me. Then it can be a little bit a problem when this comes to your iron, and perhaps you want to iron your clothes and then you have black paint on your clothes. That is not a good idea. But when you take it in this direction and put something under it, so I took this old paper here and then put it like this and ironed it from the back side. So even if something is not completely dry, it will come to this paper, but not to your iron. And with the stamp or the print, would you like to call it, will happen nothing. So let me show you some of the results. Of course, when you iron it, you know that from coffee dyed or tea dyed paper, then, excuse me, sometimes you will get those crinkles here, or I don't know the right word for it. Hopefully you can see that. So when paper was wet and then it dries and then you iron it, sometimes you have those little lines here. But I think we want to make a junk journal and not a perfect, clean journal. Otherwise we wouldn't do such stamps. So I don't care about that. And yeah, the results are very different, as you can see here. So some are very clear and with many white spaces in between, and others are like this. This one is very gray and very loose, but you can also see those original things from the doilies. So I like when this comes out a little bit different and not all the same, because that's what I want. I want to have different results, but in the same style, as I said before. And this one, for example, I can imagine very, very great for a loose steampunk journal, for example. As you can see, those circles here, that seems to be the flowers. in before, that may look a little bit like this steampunk things from the clocks that we use in steampunk journals, and that's a very cool thing, I think. Some of them are like this. I don't know if you can see the color difference in my camera. So I have this very dark black in the middle, and then here it is very gray, and the acrylic paint mixed with water, yeah, to a very high level. And here it's nearly brown, like I think the coffee from my coffee dyeing that I did with the doily before came out here a little bit, so that I have this gray brown thing here. I don't know if you can see that, but that looks really cool in reality. And then I came up with the idea in the meantime when I dried this, that you of course can also use different colors or coffee and black color. That would be a really great effect, I think. So when you paint part of your doily with the black paint and then spritz liquid coffee to the other parts, then you can get this effect. Yeah, you want this effect and you get it. So I don't wanted it, but I got it. So I don't know how this is called in English. It's Zufall in German. So it's something like a surprise for me. But yeah, I think you can manage it that you get it a little bit clearer and a little bit more brown, like it is here. This is the one where we only did the middle part of this doily, so where I only press my fingers like this from the other part of the paper, from the other side of the paper. And yeah, cool, I think. Yeah, and as you can see, they are very, very different. And when they are dry, they look really cool. So on this one here, this coffee came out also very well. And I first thought, oh, okay, what's that? Why is it such brown here? But I think that looks very cool. And also those smaller things, I think that can be a really great background for a butterfly, for example, or for a really colorful flower that comes out here. And sometimes when you look closer to those stamps here, you can also find some faces or some things like mermaids or something like that. And of course you can take a black pen and doodle over it, or you can yeah, make your own art over this piece. You can also use Mod Podge or something else medium like this and put this to a canvas and then paint over it, or paint some mixed media faces over it, or some landscapes or something like that. I think the possibilities to use those things are nearly yeah, nearly endless. And perhaps you will try this by your own, and if you do it, please let me know in some way. Let me yeah, be a part of your results, please, because I always think about, okay, the people watch my videos, but what's the result? Do they try this at home really? Or yeah, it's very hard for me to find your results. So if you like to share this with me, of course you can do that by tagging me in some way. You can mark me in your Instagram post or on Facebook, or you can of course send me a message. All the information how you can contact me are down below in the description box. And of course, I would like to show your share your social medias too. So when you have a Facebook page and you make something with this tutorial and have a result like this or totally different, and you would like to say, okay, I did this tutorial from Louise Heinzl and this is my result, then of course I would love to share your things, and I would love to share your social media links, your Instagram accounts, and of course I would like to follow you on your Instagram account. So please, let's share some support also. So not even the not only the results, but also some love and some support. I think that's very helpful for the most of us. Yeah, so I have to go to my scanner now and I have to scan this. Hopefully that will come out great and like I have that in mind. And I think I stop talking here because perhaps you would like to grab some paper and some acrylic paint, some paintbrush, some water, and do your own. And yeah, I wish you very much fun with this, and hopefully this tutorial was a little bit helpful. If you like, please subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, then you will get informed when I upload a new video. And when you want to get some freebies, when you would like to have some high quality freebies, something like this, something like digital stamps, some vintage images, or some other stuff. By the way, all commercial use allowed and in high quality, so that you can print or manipulate them with a digital program. Then please subscribe to my mailing list. I have the HEINZLLETTER. It's a very new thing. You will find the informations down below in the description box, and you can subscribe to the newsletter. And then you will get some mail from me. In every mail you will receive a freebie that you can work with. Of course, you are not allowed I have to say that because of the video from yesterday, you are not allowed to give it away as freebie by yourself. You are not allowed to give it away as itself in its digital form, or when you printed it out and give it away. That's not allowed, but you can use it for your own things, and you can of course print it out, make a journal or another new project, and then you are also allowed to sell it. You can also use the digital stamps I'm giving away in your digital projects. Of course, you are not allowed to give them away in its digital form and as they are, but you can manipulate them and you can use them in your digital designs also if you are a digital designer. Okay, so at the end I would like to say thank you very, very much for all your support, for all your lovely words and all the messages that come to me. I just recognized I have, I think, 4 or 3 new messages here while I'm doing this video, and it's such incredible thing what's going on here at the moment, and all that happened due to really bad things. So when you watched the video about the copyright thing and what happened to me, I know I'm not the only person who had such experiences, but this is experience what you gave me in this situation. It's really overwhelming and it's so incredible, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for this. Yeah, so my lovely friends, see you the next time. Have fun with this, and yeah, bye bye.